Pretty good looking stuff for a street car, huh, buddy?
Yep, pretty nice.
40 over.
Right.
And 40 over makes it 410 inches.
Round and round and round it goes. We're going to have to redo this.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Nitro Union, and today's a pretty exciting day. Got the truck loaded up back here, and I'm headed out to Florida. That's where our buddy Jesse Holmes lives at, and Jesse is, whenever it comes to Ford engines, he's the guy. And I might have teased you guys a little bit on some aluminum heads and stuff I have around, but the deal is we're building a Ford motor for my Mustang, the Mach 1. If you haven't seen the Mach 1, go back a few episodes back in, I guess, the spring sometime, early summer. I got the car out and we're working on it, but long story short, we found out the engine that was in it was bad, so kind of put me back to square one. I thought I had a backup plan. I had a 351 Windsor laying around, and dug into it and found one of the cylinders that was rusty. So I was just kind of, well, I don't know what to do. Jesse called and he's like, look, man, let's get some parts together and let's put you together a Windsor stroker motor. So I was like, well, I really don't need to spend the money, but you know, we'll see what we can come up with, and that's what we did. So we've been putting parts together over the last few months and found a good deal on some aluminum heads and just various different things like that. And he gave me the call the other day, and he said he's about got the bottom end ready to go. So I'm loading up my stuff, and I'm about to head down there, and we're going to spend the next few days putting that puppy together.
Then TK, from operating the shop and having a few tools left over, rather than beating and banging and figuring out how to get that apart without messing it up, we use a rod separator. Makes it pretty simple, don't it?
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah, I was over here whooping on one with a rubber hammer, and he's like, I got a tool for that.
Pretty good looking stuff for a street car, huh, buddy?
Yep, pretty nice.
But you got such a good car, and I love your Mustang, man. So we're gonna get you a nice little 410 built up for it.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking 408, but the block, and it honed out real nice and squared up at 40 over.
Right.
And 40 over makes it 410 inches.
Right.
And we're using a dish pistons to get the compression down to 9.5 to 1, so you'll be able to run 93 octane with no problem.
Right. Which is pretty much just what I need. What is up, guys? We're out here at Del Morse Machine in Pensacola, Florida, and this is our first stop. So kind of been working on getting parts and everything gathered up, and had to take the rotating assembly over here to get it balanced up. So that's what we're doing now. We're going to balance this this crankshaft. We got the bob weights and everything for the pistons and rods, and they'll kind of explain that stuff to you a little bit too. We'll kind of go through it, kind of a short version. We may do an extended version somewhere else, but yeah, so we're pretty excited to get this thing put on together, get it balanced, and that's the next step. So you're getting this crankshaft fixtured up in this balancer, and it'll spin it up, and
Yeah, basically it's just like balancing a tire.
yeah.
In other words, you put a tire up here or mount it up on a wheel and spin it, and it'll tell you how it's out of balance. But keep in mind, these counterweights on the crankshaft, Tommy, we got to have something out here to counterbalance it, and that's what we're going to make up. If you go to the screen there, see it says JHP 408. Actually it's a 410 because it's 40 over, and it shows the weight of the piston, the rods, and the combination at the bottom, that bob weight, 1828.
Right.
That's just like mounting a tire on a wheel. We'll put 1828 here, and this is trying to counterbalance it, and it reads it, and it tells you here what adjustment we need to make. As you see these holes that had been drilled in it before, what adjustments we need to make it be balanced perfectly smooth.
Right.
And so anyway, what we'll do, we'll get this all mounted up, and then I'll go over here. I'll show you here. we'll take these pieces here and a combination of these weights right here,
Okay.
lay them on this scale. As you see right here, the last job that he did was 17, that's 1,769 grams.
Okay.
And we're gonna go up, see, we're only going up like 60 grams
Yeah, so we need
to 1828. So we'll take a combination, all of these are grams and half of grams, and we'll take a combination and make it weigh exactly what your pistons, rods, and rings weigh, just like mounting a tire on a wheel, spin it, and the computer balancer to show me what I need to do to get it perfect.
Gotcha. Pretty neat.
All right, Tommy, look what we're doing now. So remember we started out at 1769. I just added 60 to it, and it knows it. See, we're at 1829. I added the 60. I'm gonna back it off. We're only 1 gram, 1.3 grams difference. So I'll take 1 gram off, and we'll make this 1828.4.5.
Right.
Within tenths of grams.
Right.
Tommy, this is nuts. Look.
Wow. So that's like a 1 gram.
That's a half of a gram
Half a
right
gram.
there, I believe.
Wow.
We're going to take 2 of these little pieces off and see how close we are to our targeted number. A dollar bill weighs 1 gram.
Really?
I mean, you can't even feel it, but if you throw a dollar bill up there, you see where we at now?
Yeah.
All right.
18.
We're going to 0.4, so we're 3 off. If I put this half a gram on there, I'm 0.2 off.
Yeah,
that's as close as we can get.
Yeah.
And so when I install this, again, this is just like putting a tire on a wheel.
Right.
To be able to balance it properly. When I put this on that crankshaft, that's basically the same as putting your rods and pistons on there.
Right, right.
And we're talking about taking the time of polishing all the rods to get them exactly the same.
Right.
And buffing the pistons to get them all the same within tenths of grams. Is normally anywhere from 2 to 3 and sometimes more than that in time, hour labor to $100 an hour minimum.
Right,
and
right.
Dale charges $300.
Yeah.
If he gets it done in 2 hours, good for him. If it takes him 4 something, he just. But that's what it costs to balance a complete balance job on a V8 now is $300. And believe me, it's well worth it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it, that engine can't stay together.
Right.
Not on a stroker motor.
Right.
Now, basic rebuild, just a little mom and pop truck, and just changing the pistons, maybe.
Yeah.
But on a performance job, an aftermarket crank, you got to balance.
Yeah, it's got to be
like
done.
I used to tell people, you ain't got to balance the tires on your truck if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Long as you go into the store and back, who cares? But jump on the interstate and see what happens.
Right, exactly.
And it's the same way with your engine.
Yeah.
In the training, they'll tell you there's 3 basic balance factors to use with this piece of equipment. A 1.5 inch out, a 0.5, and a 0.3. A 1.5 is like grandma's grocery getter. It's got a balance width of this, about anything.
Right.
I think that's the balance factor when you buy a pre-balanced stroker kit.
Gotcha.
It's tolerated to. But 98% of the people doing performance benefit more by getting it balanced down to a 0.5 inch ounce.
Right.
Now, once you start getting up NHRA, NASCAR, all them big dollar boys, most of those guys balance to like a 0.25.
Oh, wow.
Or a 0.2.
Right, right.
I commonly use a 0.5 or a 0.35 depending on the application.
Right. And that just has a lot to do with just time, like how much time you spend massaging parts and stuff like that, taking weight out. And
Yep, or adding weight.
Right.
Another good thing about that machine too, being modern balancing, it shows a before and after.
Yeah.
In other words, just
yeah.
like when we spin yours, if we spin yours and it's 46 grams out, it shows that, and it also shows the balancing factors, what that represents at 4, 5, and 6,000 RPMs. You know, it'll tell you that 28 grams at 6,000 represents, you know, 400 pounds of force beating like that. And that's what tears motors up.
Yeah.
Then after we do it and it's within a gram or so, then it says, okay, now at that same RPM it's making less than 10.
Yeah.
You know?
And see that once you balance rods on the small one, that's about what they look like.
Right.
Since these all came out of a big bin, I was able to start off with rods fairly close.
Right.
But
And you just kind of polish them there on that end.
well, you have to get all three weights. You've got your big end, you've got your small end, and you got your overall.
Gotcha.
And as you can see in his little tub there, and look, the work over here, Dale does quite a few
Yeah.
LS combinations.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here, if you look, you can see the notes taken where the pistons start off, what the wrist pin is, and what the total of each combination is to start. Now, this was a 610 with 6/10, but I got them all down to a 610. My light was a 610-0, so they're all down to like a 610-1.
Right. Wow.
Remember we was trying to hit the .4 on yours? Every now and you look up and come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so that's dead nuts, but good at the back, off on the front. See where it's off at.
Yeah,
It's
no,
actually, we couldn't fill in one of them, filling in one of them holes to solve the whole problem on it. The back's not a problem.
Apparently, fill that one all the way.
That one totally filled up. That'd just about do 30 grams on it.
Yep.
You don't just put metal in it? I mean, just a wire well?
So we found that we need to add weight on the front side of it.
Yeah.
So he's going to fill in one of the holes that are
Yeah, and I
already
think
drilled.
what it is, Tommy, was this crankshaft with those Molly pistons were a little lighter.
Right.
And, you know, we went with a heavy-duty piston, which adds the weight. And plus, we went from 30 to 40 over.
Right.
So by adding weight, it wants a little bit more on the counterweight, and that's what. But it's only 30 grams.
Right. So he
To
just
be honest with you, on a normal driver, you wouldn't even feel 30 grams. But
Right.
trying to perfect it, we'll get it down to within a gram or less than a gram.
Right. And he'll actually just fill in that hole with rod.
Right,
So,
right, yeah.
Gotcha.
The metal weld will just weld the crankshaft right up.
Yeah.
All it's doing is just putting the metal back in it where somebody drilled it out originally. Right there, 8.6, and it's in an area where you just touch it a little bit. See, Tommy, what it's telling him now, since he put that weight in there to pull that weight, that 30 grams we wanted here, he put it in there and he pulled most of it around, and now right there we just got to take a little bit out. In other words, it's telling
2
us
grams.
remove 8.6 in this area right here,
Gotcha.
which is just a little bit of grind. 8 grams ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$60,000 or $80,000,
Yeah, that.
that far. You watch, you'll see it come down. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's point 0.33 and 0.3 on the front.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Which is less than 3 grams.
Right.
Yeah, it shows you the grams, 275,
Yeah.
and that's $3 bills in your hand.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the process of balancing and kind of blueprinting this engine. So exactly what this is, I don't think I ever actually mentioned it, but it's a 351 Windsor base stroker. So it's you go up to a 4-inch stroke, and it's 40 over bore, so 4.040 bore, which makes 410 cubic inches. So that's the engine we're going with, and that's kind of what Jesse specializes in. He's got a little combo that works really well, and I'm super excited to get this thing done and get it in the car and just see how it feels. You know, some real power in there, and it should also be pretty mild, you know, for street driving too. But the power will be there if I need it. But I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. It's been an awesome time down in Florida, and getting to see all this stuff done and learning a lot, you know, and it's just been really cool. But this is gonna be a couple different parts because it's pretty long, you know, the whole process. I'm gonna leave all that in there with the balancing and everything, because it was super interesting to me, and I hope you guys find it interesting as well, you know, on what all goes on behind the scenes with this stuff. On the next part, we're going to be assembling the short block and getting all that stuff together, so you guys tune in for that one. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and whatever you do, hope it goes well, and see you guys on the next one.